Hello, fellow Oregonians. I'm Troy Pickard, tenants attorney, and I'm coming to you again to give you an update on an executive order that Oregon's governor just put out today, April 1st, 2020, that completely changes things for tenants across Oregon. I want to let you know what this executive order says and what it doesn't say and what you should do in response. So here's the new deal. If you are a resident, if you're a tenant, a residential tenant anywhere in the state of Oregon, then for the next 90 days, basically until the end of June, landlord is prohibited from issuing to you a notice of termination for non-payment or from filing an eviction case for non-payment. They're also barred from issuing you a termination notice for no cause, and they're barred from filing an eviction case against you based on a no cause termination. Again, that's going to last at least for the next 90 days until the end of June. So what does that mean? It means that even though you still owe all of the rent and charges that accumulate in the next 90 days, your landlord can't kick you out or even try to kick you out for not paying them over the next 90 days. However, all of that money is still owed. So when this order ends, which we expect it will end in 90 days at the end of June, then all of that money is still owed, and at that point your landlord would be able to issue to you a notice of termination for non-payment of April, May, and June's rent. And if you weren't able to get that paid within 72 hours, your landlord would at that point be able to file an eviction case against you. So this is not a perfect solution to tenants' problems, but it is going to give tenants some much needed breathing room over the next few months when everybody is dealing with this COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the order says that if your landlord wanted to charge you late fees for non-payment during this next 90 days, any late fees like that are waived. Your landlord cannot charge you late fees while you're not paying during this 90-day period here. But again, at the end of the 90-day period, all of the other money that's still owed is still owed, and your landlord can terminate you for not paying it. The other important things that this law says is, it says if you are not going to be able to make a payment to your landlord, you have got to notify your landlord within a reasonable amount of time. And it says that if you are able financially to make a payment, even just a partial payment of rent to your landlord, you are legally obligated by this order to make that partial payment. In fact, the order goes so far as to make it a criminal offense to fail to make a partial payment of rent to your landlord if you are financially able to do so. So heads up on that one. Finally, it's important to keep in mind that there are special protections that apply only to certain cities and certain counties. For example, Portland and Multnomah County both have special protections for residential tenants in Portland and in Multnomah County. And those protections are better for tenants than the statewide protection. So you want to make sure that you trigger those protections, and the requirement for triggering that is that you have suffered a substantial loss of income as a result of the pandemic, and that you notify your landlord of your inability to make the payment on or before the day when the payment is due. So for example, for April's rent, that payment is almost certainly going to be due today, April 1st, and if you fail to notify your landlord and provide them with documentation or some kind of objectively verifiable information about your inability to make that payment because of COVID-19, then you will lose those protections. Again, failing to notify your landlord on or before the day the payment is due means you lose your Portland and Multnomah County protections, although you'll still have your new statewide protections. So for now, please keep everything I've said in mind. Understand that as this law changes at the state and local levels, which it certainly will, you will be able to get new information on those changes here at my firm's website, portlanddefender.com. And feel free for any landlord-tenant disputes to come to me at my firm, Portland Defender. We've been helping tenants for the last 10 years deal with landlord-tenant problems, and we'd be happy to help you. Stay safe.